Monday, August 7th, they just finished milling and sweeping in front of my house here on Mediterranean. You can see that the base here has been disturbed considerably. A lot of scabbing. Average curb reveal here is about a ½ inch, which means when they come to pave it, which is supposed to be today, there's only going to be a ½ inch of pavement there. You can see that the middle of the road has not been milled at all, and they will probably pave over this just like they've paved over every other road and done the same thing. The paving crew will come in and they will remove the manhole cover and put a 1-inch riser on it, and then they'll pave. As you can see, since the center hasn't been milled, and since we only have about a ½ inch of reveal on the curb, the pavement that's going to be put down here will be a ½ inch at curb to 1 inch at center. The specs call for minimum 1 inch at curb and 1.5 at center. So basically about half of the amount of asphalt that we contracted for. Again, this is what they call ready to pave, and just as I've seen before, center of the road not paved. They've also tapered into the point where they don't pave here, so even the edges of this are minimal in depth. And I've tried to get the board to pay attention to this since Thursday of last week, and it's very concerning. Also, I assume they'll continue to do what they've done with the tack coating, although we have specified a full tack coating be put on the road, which is, amounts to tens of thousands of gallons for the project. They'll just come and squirt a little bit here and there, and then they'll pave over it. The U.S. Department of Transportation cites 4 independent studies that the lack of tack coat or the lack of full coverage of tack coat can result in a 60 to 75% reduction in life of the pavement that's put over it. And while this is going on, it's just a sin, really, what they're doing. I'm trying to stop them from doing this, because essentially the only way to correct this after they've paved it is to remove the pavement and start over again, which is very costly. But I would consider this to be a dilemma and an emergency. Monday, October 7th. Here you see them paving over a road. A road which has a lot of debris on it. Hadn't really been swept very well. Definitely not going to sweep it, because they've applied a minimal amount of tack coat, a few squirts here and there. Certainly the sweeper is not going to drive over that. Also notice that they put a plastic riser on the manhole cover. It's a 1-inch riser. Therefore, the maximum amount of pavement that will be able to apply in this area is 1 inch, not the required 1.5 to 2 inches. You can see they're about to do that, leading up from the cul-de-sac. And this is their, what they call tack coat. It looks like maybe since I've talked to the board and maybe they've talked to them, they've applied a little more tack coat. But, we're talking just on an area like this, many gallons should be used, and the spec calls for complete and even coverage at a rate of rate of 9.09 gallons, which is about 12 ounces per square yard, 3 sections. So certainly not nearly enough attack coat in a lot of areas that are exposed, and this a surface that is just full of loose debris. I'll go up here a little farther forward of the truck. Again, you can see that the center of the road has not been milled. Again, this is what they call their tack coat application, which according to the specs is full, complete, and uniform on all pavement surfaces. Again, you see here, no milling in the center of the road, little to no tack coat, half-inch curb reveals, 1-inch risers on the manholes, which means, again, you only can put 1 inch of pavement on the center of the road here, and on top of it, they're going to place it on in an unmilled, old asphalt base that is decomposing. Nothing but troubles down the line. It'll look good after they've done it, but it ain't gonna last long. The milling Monday, October 7th. The milling, paving has been going a little bit slow here. It's like they're having some issues in the cul-de-sac. There's a number of trucks parked here, several up the street, probably about 5 or 6 of them. They will have been waiting some time. The hot mix asphalt is temperature critical, so the longer they wait, the more it cools. If it gets below 300 degrees, it's unusable. It has to be returned to the plant. Of course, I don't know what the temperature is now or when they apply it, and I've observed the paving process a number of times. I have yet to see the inspection on any of the observances of the jobs I've done in the last 4 or 5 days, and I haven't seen anybody taking temperature controls with the infrared thermometer, when they are paving, or the trucks or whatever, which is it's required to do that, because if the temperature falls below a certain level, then they have to send the truck back to the plant for remix. But I have yet seen an inspector on any job, and I have yet to see anybody taking any temperature readings. Not saying they haven't, but certainly in my experience, the amount of time I've observed this, I would have seen this done, 2 or 3 times in each incident, in my experience.